I'm Joe Satriani, and I'm going to show you 10 tips to make you a successful guitar player. And the first one is it's all about bending in tune. This is a really simple one. Hit a note, let's say this one here. You drop down a little bit, and you bend up to it to try to get it in tune. But here are the mechanics of it. When you play that first note, make sure you're not pushing it down too hard, and make sure that you're not pushing it side to side or anything like that. Drop down, grab the neck, make sure the neck is sort of filling up this space right here, and your fulcrum point for rotating your forearm is going to be right there. And you put your 3 fingers down on that string, 2 frets below the note you hit at the beginning, and bend up. Try to get right there without any vibrato, and then maybe you can try adding different kinds of vibrato to your taste. Try it with other strings, like that. Practice it down here all the way up, so you know exactly what it's supposed to feel like and what it's supposed to sound like, so you can bend into it. Now, let's talk about playing stretching. When I started out, I played this thing here, and that's got a lot of stretch, a lot of hammer on, and pull off. So let's say we scale it back and do a simple exercise to start. It would go like this. Now, a variation on that would be to stretch your first 2 fingers, your third. Do that on every string, and then experience it further up the neck. You combine that strength building with this kind of an exercise. And this. So you've got basically all those variations there. One other thing I used to have my students do was the same kind of hammer-on exercise where you didn't have to worry about what key you're in. It went like this. Just kind of get used to doing this. Just to build up your strength. Eventually, when you get around to playing scales, you apply all this flutter, strength, and coordination, and that kind of stuff, and this to scale. This is a great exercise for warming up. I'm not really warmed up right now, so you'll get to see somebody warming up, right? Do the same kind of thing on the first 4 strings. Last 4. Combine them. First couple of strings. Sort of like a tongue twister for your fingers. It's a great way to warm up. I do this every night before a show. You can use any chord form to do it. You can use, let's say, these diminished chords. So on and so forth. Again, the idea is to stay loose, work away any kind of tension, don't play if it hurts, and move with as much economy as you possibly can. That's the idea. Here's one that I used to like to do. Sounds wonderful, doesn't it? I learned this from a guitar player named Billy Bauer, famous jazz player, and it's a great way to work out picking and fingering that's slightly unusual, not part of your normal idiomatic, rock kind of styling. And when you do it on all the strings, it takes on a whole new sort of technique of its own, because you find you have to lift up your fingers in a different way because of the size of the string, and then as you go up, same thing. When you get to the top or halfway up, let's say at the 12th fret, when you go backwards, this whole movement like this here is essential, because it's really teaching you that there's lots of ways of getting fingerings to work out, even though they may look awkward. There's a way of getting it together where if you practice it enough, it becomes natural to you. Now, to get out of the box of doing scales, just 2 octaves and 3 octaves, something that I learned from Lenny Tristano, the great Lenny Tristano, was not to worry about the timing of when you're playing scales, but really just try to cover the entire neck. So let's say if you're doing this E major, you really wanted to see me play all the way up as far as it could go and all the way down. Don't worry about timing or fingering. The idea is to be able to look down at this neck and really see every key that you want clearly laid out with any number of paths available to you. Another way of doing that would be maybe, let's say if you're practicing an E, just to let that low E ring. Keep hitting it as your pedal point. And try to improvise around the E major scale. Now if you don't know how to get around or visualize the whole neck, just sort of zone in on a couple of those 2 and 3 octave fingerings that you find in a book. Try to replace a couple of notes. You know what I mean? And then once you find those same notes everywhere, then you time together. So it's just like learning how phrases in different octaves fit on the guitar. You'd have to do the same thing with the other note phrases. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like that. And then slowly you start to put it together. I like the improvising method because it still keeps you in the creative mode. It keeps you out of that just practicing and not listening kind of style, which I don't really like.